So a soul is simply a form of a container that is a world within a world, because essentially we're just talking about an existence within an existence that's just similar to what we see externally, as far as how you see scientists modeling the forms of particles and making their designs for how these things flow, as far as these different components that make life, and then they observe it, and then they create their own intellectual property based on based in it, right? So you have forms of astronomy and astrology to track down what type of timing, what type of temperament, what type of modality this person soul come in, as far as your different actors, because you got, you know, different parts of you that's creating the world and things like that, as far as your organs coming together, which are symbolic for external things as well. So you can look at even your organs as like each one is like a soul on its own, because each one is interpreting the reality in its own form of information, or its own form of function and things like that. As far as you having your eyes to see light, as far as you having your five senses, you see as like Taurus. As far as your sexual organs, that's like Scorpio, the eighth house, and things like that. So you got different houses, souls, basically containers that have information in it, and based on, like I said, your time of birth, based on your name, based on your basically your birthright, your the time of your birth, because that decides and gives you a lot of energy. It's an imprint, basically. Your soul is imprinted on you, because all this is just programmable matter, as far as what we are able to observe with our physical eyes. And even if we can't observe with our physical eyes, we can create that energy around there, and things like that. It gets really interesting, because everything around you is basically programmable matter, and your soul is basically just programmable matter. It's not like it's like you was grafted from the earth type of shit. Like earth life is not a new experience. We're basically new to life. Even animals acquiring other bodies, what I'm saying, becoming humans and things like that. As far as the travel of the soul and things like that, of expansion and contraction, for your soul to become, to take on a different shape and form, because all just programmable matter and things like that. And we're programmable matter as well, but we're just observing this programmable matter experience and things like that. So that's why you're able to push out influences as well. That's why you're able to create energies, if you really pay attention to what you're really doing from minute to minute, as far as like you're in a state of flow, as far as you're able to stay within your lane and not go outside of that, because now you know that you was given a particular set of attributes and characteristics, and you know that your soul was designed differently. So you can look at even souls like your planetary system, as far as Galileo and the galaxy, but it's basically just like different forms of chakras and things like that. And since, well, it's just basically a perspective, right? Because it's not necessarily that life is a circle, but that's a good way, sheer form to describe it. So it's like if we're inside of some type of circle and things like that, which that's a whole other video. And we have other planets in the shape and form of orbs, circular, sun, moon, and things like that. And even the Earth. Then that's like being worlds within worlds, circles within circles, and it's just shapes and forms within shapes and forms. Just like how you have this vessel and suit, you got many shapes and forms inside of you as well. So we're just really just a representation of what goes on outside of us, and we're just doing the same thing, as above so below, because we all have these mimic bodies is what I like to call them. All this is just programmable matter, and we're creating our experience. And the better you create a more powerful soul, let's just say, you become like a spiritual veteran. You become aware of what's going on. You become aware of those energies. You become aware of the influences that are coming in and out of your life, as far as, because it's like a particular spirit that come into your life and kind of like fuck your life out type of shit. So you might, because a lot of people live backwards. A lot of people live externally first and see the world react to the world, rather than react to themselves and keeping themselves in check type of shit. That's why when you see black man getting shot. Oh no, one of us is going down. None that's good or bad. You just gotta not lose your emotions, because that's basically how they emotionally imprint your soul and make sure that you have a brand of fear. Especially even if you watch like Guts and Berserk and things like that, you become kind of like branded with fear, with doubt, with you gotta like fight your way out at a lot of shit because you accepted that sigil from the world. That's what the Bible tells you: do not conform to the pattern of the world, but be renewed be renewed through the renewing of your mind and shit like that. So it becomes really important, really powerful for people to understand their own soul expression, their own spiritual expression, and bring that into reality, because that's where you live at, literally, mentally, emotionally, and all those different things, depending on how you experience reality and shit like that. That's where you literally live at 24/7, 365. And education externally, or the imprint energy pattern of the world that it wants you to uphold, as far as religion, entertainment, and things like that, may not be compatible with your gene expression. So you're gonna find out that it's gonna shut you down in certain areas, but it's gonna give you things, because the devil comes in the most beautiful form. And you gotta know how to shake hands with the devil too sometimes. Like, it's not ain't nothing wrong with it. The devil's just an attribute. It's like even it's the devil card in tarot as well. So it's like, being a slave to your desire, but yet you having the ability to go free from that. And it's like some kind of primal desire, and ain't nothing wrong with that either. It's just keeping yourself balanced. Well, I can't even say it's a bad thing or a good thing, so it just depends on you. You gotta get to know yourself and just do you, real shit. But yeah, real shit.